Back in 2015, media analyst Mark Dice did a public experiment where he offered either a 10-ounce bar of silver or a Hershey chocolate bar. This is the same guy that went around asking people about U.S. history, like when was the Battle of Mount Rushmore fought? And then he gets insanely clueless responses. But in this video, the results, while most likely heavily edited and skewed, this one show that there are plenty of Americans who don't know that silver is worth, well, a little more than chocolate. But for the ones who do know and are diligently buying precious metals, are we stacking intelligently? Well, we're going to talk about that and more, so stay tuned. Well, how you doing, YouTube? Silver and Gold Stack Attack coming at you with another episode. Hope everyone's doing well, and I'd like to thank you for checking out the latest video here at the channel. And as always, if you'd like to help support the Silver and Gold Stack Attack, then why not jab that thumbs up button, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. I'm continually blown away by all the support everyone's given the channel, and you guys are appreciated more than you know. Alright, so you might be wondering why I've got Liberty Stacking's logo in the background here. Well, he's trying to get to 500 subs, and when he does, he's going to do a giveaway for a sweet 5-ounce bar. So if you get a minute, please head over there and help support a fellow channel creator. He puts out some really good videos, and it's a fun channel to watch. Tell him Silver and Gold Stack Attack sent you. That's kind of what we do here in this community. I mean, I couldn't have grown my channel the way I have without the support of other channels, with shout-outs and whatnot. And I really do believe in paying it forward. So give him a visit, check him out. All right, let's kick off this video with a quick clip.
Just offering people a free Hershey bar today, or a free silver bar. Which one would you prefer?
Silver. I'll take the...
Who needs a silver bar?
And if that wasn't entertaining enough, well, here's one more. Now, I don't want to take away from the work Mark did, so this will be the last clip.
Would you rather have the Hershey bar than the silver bar?
Yes, I would.
Oh, you would? Okay.
Yeah, the Hershey bar, you just eat the silver bar.
Yeah, that's right. You can't eat the silver. What are you going to do with a 10-ounce bar of silver, right? You know.
Crazy stuff, huh? Anyway, if you'd like to check out the vid in its entirety, I've added the link in the description. Wow. Now, are Americans really that blind when it comes to silver? Well, to us who stack, they certainly seem that way. But you have to remember that only 1 to 5% of Americans are actively stacking silver. And I'm not talking about owning a few rounds of coins. I'm talking about actively adding to their physical metal savings account on a predetermined and consistent basis. But you have to take Mark's video with a grain of salt. There's a very high probability that he only added the people who turned down the silver. I mean, it's for entertainment, right? What good would it do to include the ones who actually knew what the value of silver was and took it? And if they did take it, he probably shot them down immediately, saying, hey, it's just a joke, whatever, something like that. I seriously doubt he gave away the silver. Unfortunately, people tend to believe what they see on the internet, and Mark did a great job manipulating this video to prove his own point. So here's the thing. Judging by the extremely low percentage of Americans stacking metals, it's highly likely that the average American truly doesn't know the real value of an ounce of silver. Now, that doesn't mean they think silver is worthless. They just don't know. And when they're put on the spot like that video to make a decision, they're going to go with familiarity, which in this case is the chocolate. And if you look at the video in its entirety, one of the women told him, quote, I don't have any way to do anything with the silver, unquote. And they were filming right in front of a coin shop. But that's probably more common than we think. I mean, many people just don't know what to do with an ounce of silver, given the opportunity. But they do know how to eat a chocolate bar. Now, we already know that the majority of Americans aren't stacking, but for those of us who are we stacking intelligently? Look, stacking takes up a good part of our disposable income, and unless you're already loaded, that might mean sacrificing a few things, right? You're going to have to find ways to cut corners if you're serious about adding your precious metals savings account. A few examples that I've taken over the years. Number one, cut down on eating out. The prices are getting insane out there. They really are. The bill for higher employee wages was going to be due at some point, right? It had to be compensated somewhere, and that was always going to be in the food prices. Now, did the food get any better? Yeah, hell no. It's just as bad as it's always been. And the service still sucks in most places. It just got more expensive. Last week, I think I spent $17 on a sub combo at Subway. Subway. And when you put that into perspective, how much deli meat could I have bought with that same $17? Well, enough to make a dozen sandwiches or more at home, that's for sure. Number 2, cut down on buying things that won't give you a return. Remember, you're only dealing with so much disposable income, so be picky about where you're spending it. Number 3, if you're stacking for weight, cut down on the collectible silver and gold. Look, it's easy to get caught up in that collector stuff. I'm just as guilty as the next guy. It looks fantastic, and it gives you some bragging rights when you show it off. But will it retain or gain value? Well, sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. So be careful. Just remember, with great gold and silver comes great premium. Number 4, maybe rethink that cup of coffee from Starbucks at $5+ a whack. Brew some at home or at work, something like that. Bring it in a thermos. Look, if you spent $5 Monday through Friday, that's an extra $25 you could put toward an ounce of silver. Just a thought. Now, I'm not telling anyone to give up their designer coffee. Some folks just have to have it, right? Number 5, probably the most important. Don't forget to stash cash. So many people forget how important it is to stash cash for an emergency. I mean, facts don't lie. A good majority of Americans right now could not cover a $1,000 expense if it came up right now. And savings for Americans are at an all-time low. Don't get so consumed with adding to your stack that you set yourself up for failure and end up having to sell your precious metals, and potentially at a loss just to cover a bill. It's pretty counterproductive, no? Now, I'm not saying deprive yourself. I'm just saying that sometimes we need to be conscientious with our spending. And I know I'm not alone when it comes to seeing something that I really want out there, but I start calculating in my mind how much silver or gold I could buy instead. And I call that the stacker's mindset. And once we're locked in, it can be difficult to break free of that mentality. Now, it's not a bad thing, but you have to find that medium to keep yourself happy, where you're stacking for your future and buying a few instant gratification things along the way. Look, life is just too short to not be balanced.
Whole life have a balance. Everything be better.
So before we close this video out, there's one more point I'd like to mention in regard to stacking intelligently, and it so often goes unsaid. Never put yourself into debt or deeper into debt by adding precious metals to your portfolio. Pay off your debt. Be actively paying off your debt, or at least have it to a point where it's reasonable and you can pay it off in a reasonable amount of time. I'm not talking about houses and cars because we need those. I'm talking about personal loans, medical debt, credit card debt, etc., yada yada. Those can all accrue interest if you're not paying them off. And if you're spending your disposable income on precious metals instead of killing your balances and reducing those damn interest payments, well, you're just spinning your wheels in the mud. It's counterproductive to stack and still pay high interest rates on debt if you're only paying the minimum. You're costing yourself far more money than you'd likely make on selling your precious metals unless they go to the moon. And we all know how that goes. All right. So there you have it. Anyway, be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and let me know if you think I missed anything here. Sound off. Give a shout. I love hearing from you guys. And that is going to wrap it up for this episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. And if you made it this far, kudos to you. I will definitely catch up with you in the next episode. But in the meantime,
What do you want to do with your life?
damn right, get stacked. Have a fantastic Thanksgiving week, everybody. Stay safe and be well. I am out of here. Peace, people.